Hola y bienvenidos una vez más. Ahora estamos con Nataly Kogan, quien nos va a platicar un poco sobre la felicidad. So Nataly,
Yes.
we are asking all of our speakers, what is their personal definition of happiness?
Great question. My personal definition is when you feel connected to yourself, connected to others, and connected to your purpose. That's when we really feel aligned and like truly fulfilled, not just happy, but fulfilled.
So that was very clear. Thank you. And what's the most valuable lesson you have learned as an immigrant having to move to another country?
Ooh, how long do you have? Can we be here for a couple hours? A couple, if I may. I think the first one is we all have a lot more in common than we have differences. And at first, when we moved to America from Russia, it was very hard. And all I noticed was how different I was. But the more that I got to know people, the more I realized we laugh at the same things. We love to be with family. We love good food. We love to be silly. And so for me, it's a very hopeful lesson that there's a lot more that we have in common. And another lesson that I learned as a refugee is we're all capable of a lot of inner resilience, because there were so many challenges for us to overcome, but we did it. And it taught me to have this mindset and to try and teach my daughter this mindset of you will figure it out. And so, you know, Nike says, just do it. I don't think we need to just do it, but my slogan is just believe that you can figure it out. So it's not that everything will always be amazing, life can be challenging, but we all have this innate ability to figure things out, and I think it's a really important thing for us to remember.
That story really resonates with me because all of my ancestors are actually migrants and refugees from Lebanon and Syria.
Yeah.
And my grandfather, who was born as a poor person in Lebanon, he managed to build a family and to take his sons and daughters into college. And
Amazing.
And I think being a migrant is something that can really improve your lifestyle and your descendants.
Yes, and I think it's possible for people who are not immigrants to learn this immigrant mindset, right? And it's something I talk a lot about because we all have the ability, right? If I took you listening right now, and I put you in another country, you can figure out how to build a life. But we have to remember that we have this ability. I think the danger, and especially I see this with some young people now, is they encounter a challenge and they want to back away. But we have to remember, and our ancestors, like you and I are lucky in a way. Your grandpa, your ancestors, and for me, I learned it myself because I learned this in myself. I think that's why I've been an entrepreneur for 20 years. Being an entrepreneur is very hard. Yeah. But immigrant is harder. And so my mindset is I can figure it out. It's not that it will be easy. It's not that it will always be fun, but we as humans have this amazing ability to figure things out. And I think as immigrants or descendants of immigrants, that's the lesson we can share.
Thank you. What advice would you give to someone seeking to find meaning and fulfillment in your daily lives?
I think the most important thing to remember is that meaning is not somewhere out there and you go and find it. I think I used to think that way. A lot of people think, oh, I don't have meaning in my life, I have to find it. It's actually right here. We experience meaning as human beings when something we do contributes to someone else or helps someone else. So the way to find it in your daily life is literally ask yourself, what can I do today that positively contributes to one other person? I think the other issue is we often think to have meaning, we have to be famous, right? Or help millions of people. If you can do something positive that impacts one other person, you have changed a life. You've made a huge difference. So that's the daily question. What can I do today to positively impact one other person? And it doesn't have to be a huge thing, right? Expressing your gratitude to someone, helping a colleague at work, even having a nice interaction with someone. If it's truthful, if it's genuine, if it's positively impacting them, you will feel a tremendous amount of meaning. Like I just came off the stage, I gave a talk. It feels very meaningful to me. Why? Not because I'm on stage with a lot of people, that's just stuff. But because when I got off the stage, this woman came up to me and hugged me and she was in tears and she said, thank you, that really helped me. So I feel meaning, not because I can speak to 1,000 people, but because there was one person whom I could impact, and that's meaning.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.